The Galactic Convergence Council had not convened an emergency session for 300 years. Now, representatives from 47 civilizations sat rigid in their seats, their translator implants humming with barely contained panic. Admiral Voskareth of the Delvian Empire slammed his four-fingered hand against the crystalline table. 7 fleets, he hissed, his bioluminescent skin flickering an anxious violet. 7 fleets have entered the Sol system's outer boundary. None returned. Not a single hull fragment. Not a distress beacon. Nothing. The chamber erupted. Only one delegate remained silent, Ambassador Zethric of the ancient Uran civilization, the oldest species in the known galaxy. He had lived 11,000 years. He had seen empires collapse like sand castles. But right now, watching the star maps rotate above the council floor, his ancient eyes carried something the younger species had never seen in them before. Fear. "We should leave that system alone," Zethric said quietly. Nobody listened. The Delvians sent a surveillance drone first, a small, undetectable stealth unit that cost more than most planetary economies. It crossed the outer marker of the Sol system and transmitted for exactly 4 minutes and 11 seconds before going dark. The data it sent back was reviewed by 17 xenobiologists, 9 military strategists, and 3 artificial intelligence clusters. The conclusion shook all of them. The third planet, the small blue one, was not undefended. It was not primitive. It was not sleeping. It was watching. The planet's single moon was artificial. Not entirely, the rock was real enough, but threaded through its core like veins of silver were structures of incomprehensible scale. Structures that were clearly functional. Clearly powered. And clearly pointed outward, toward deep space, like the barrel of a gun that encompassed an entire celestial body. "They built inside their moon," General Draxvel whispered, reading the report with trembling hands. "They used the gravity well of their own planet as a concealment shield. Every scan we ever ran, every long-range survey, the moon's mass hid it perfectly." He set the data pad down slowly. "How long?" he asked the AI cluster. "Construction estimates suggest between 800 and 1200 Earth years," the AI replied calmly. "They have been preparing since before we made first contact with most current Council species." Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, inside a facility that appeared on no government map and no satellite image, Colonel James Hartwell poured himself a second cup of coffee and stared at the blinking alert on his screen. Another one. Delvian configuration this time. He marked it in his log with the casual efficiency of a man cataloging library returns. James was 53 years old, gray at the temples, with the kind of quiet eyes that had seen too much to be surprised by anything. He had worked in the Aegis Division for 19 years. He had personally overseen the disappearance of 4 alien fleets. He did not consider himself a violent man. He considered himself a prepared one. He pressed a single button on his console. Somewhere beyond the orbit of Neptune, the lunar array finished its targeting calculation in 0.003 seconds and delivered a pulse of focus gravitational inversion so precise and so total that the Delvian surveillance cluster ceased to exist without producing so much as a shockwave. James sipped his coffee. His phone buzzed. It was his daughter, Madison, sending him a photo of his grandson's first birthday party. A little boy named Cooper, covered in frosting, grinning like the world was a perfectly safe and wonderful place. James smiled and typed back, "He's perfect. Home Sunday. Save me cake." Back in the council chamber, Ambassador Zethric finally stood. The room fell silent. "I tried to warn you," the ancient Uran said softly. 10,000 years ago, when we first detected that system, my people sent a fleet. 40 warships. We were the most powerful civilization in this galaxy." He paused. "We never found out what happened to them. We assumed natural causes. A star anomaly. Spatial turbulence." He looked around the chamber at every pale, frightened face. We were wrong. They let us believe that because it suited them. They are not primitive. They are not developing. His voice dropped to barely a whisper. They have been waiting. Patient as stone. Quiet as deep space. He closed his ancient eyes. The humans do not conquer. They do not expand. They simply protect what is theirs, and they are very, very good at making sure no one ever gets close enough to threaten it twice. Silence swallowed the chamber whole. Somewhere in the Sol system, on a small blue planet, a little boy named Cooper laughed and reached for more birthday cake.